In this wonderful university, the same Murli is read everywhere. Copying our universality of the university, many multinationals also keep uniformity in their quality. There are many brands in the world. You go anywhere, you will get the same quality product. As a college boy, I had read in newspaper that there is some bun made by a multinational food chain, and the seeds on that were almost the same number anywhere, because they kept a measure for that. So here also, Baba's Gyan, it all started, everything starts with Brahma Baba. So we have the same Murli, and the teachers of the class revise the Murli. I hardly get a chance to revise the Murli, but let us do it today. So today's Murli revolves around the song. And the song was, who created this drama? Who created its sound and music? I don't know exact translation, but I am trying to do that. Who created this drama, word drama? And Baba says, those who write these songs, they also do not know its meaning. They write it in the same way as the scripture writers write the scriptures. So they also do not know, they do not find any solution, they keep on writing. In Bharat, there are believers who say that the Vedas, the 4 scriptures called Vedas, are the original scriptures of Bharat and of the world. Those are like the guidebook. When they sell a machine, say a motor car, they provide a guidebook. Scriptures. So those are God's versions written through so many number of rishis. So they think Vedas are the original scripture. Baba tells us otherwise, because in the Gita there is mention of Vedas. So those on the side of Vedas, they say, look, Vedas came before Gita, that is why there is mention of Vedas in the Gita. But if we deeply see, no storyteller will tell the story in advance if someone has to play that role, otherwise it becomes artificial. So if God had revealed everything from golden age to iron age through the Vedas, all our roles will become artificial. That is why what has actually happened, Baba tells us at the end. And because that is the time of suffering also, so Baba tells us how you came down and now how you have to go up. Anyhow, then there is the feeling, people say, God as Father. And many say God Father. So Baba has questioned that, and that's a very subtle point. that how can a person become a father without a mother? Similarly, this is not a case of physical reproduction, because no one can physically reproduce, no couple can produce so much population, but you require a mother even for a spiritual adoption. Otherwise also mother is adopted in the family from another family. Even if there is a couple, there is no child, the person won't be call himself father. So child is necessary. So Baba has explained to us that father needs a mother. And people of many religions, Baba has said Allah, that they say father, but without mother it can't be. And then Baba has gone on to explain that Brahma Baba is the mother, and through Brahma Baba, Baba creates children. Very important thing is that in India, in Bhakti, the path of devotion, we have been saying that human birth is very precious. Human birth is most precious. This has been the saying in the Bhakti cult. Now here in Gyan we feel why human birth is most precious. The deities are more precious than the humans. But it is said that human birth is more precious. But in the Bhakti they say it in a different context. Because they believe that human soul transmigrates into 84 lakh types of species. So it gets only one human birth in that cycle. And that birth is precious because you can get liberation in that birth only, otherwise you will again get back into the cycle of 84 births. This is in the Bhakti cult we have been believing. But Baba says no. In fact, today humans are the cheapest species in the world because, but to speak of precious, all governments want to control human population. No one wants to control population of lions or other species. They provide money in the budget to keep those species alive. But there is great significance that there is only one human birth in the cycle and only of a limited number of human souls, which is most precious. And we know that is our birth at Sangam confluence, because in this birth we become deities. Although the deities are precious, but when they became deity and what they were before. So in this sense, Baba has explained that this most auspicious birth of the luckiest Brahman souls, us all, is the most precious one. Then Baba has explained many other things in the Murli. And finally, for our dharana, Baba says that there are two types of Brahmins also. They take the spiritual birth, but there are those who take the vow of purity and they remain celibate throughout, so they can inculcate all the Gyan and follow all the principles. And there are those second grade who are not able, who don't do that. So in Hindi we call it sage and lage, the maternal children, or we call it, I don't know, lage what we call. Huh? Yeah, stepchildren, yeah. Right. So stepchildren. So the ones who are not stepchildren, they get inheritance, they get into the family, and then they get the throne of the parents, and that is our object. But those who are stepchildren also, they become subjects, etc. So we have to see that we become the inheritors, and for that Baba says the vow of purity should be maintained, plus what we call none but one, only Baba and no one else. That also we have to see, this bird is not ours. So like that, Baba tells us, and then we have a responsibility also that whatever Baba, we learn from Baba, we have to pass on to others also. So here I was thinking that yesterday in the interview Janti Man had asked me that about sustaining the whole tree. So really when we say, I pass on the message to another one, or we introduce new BKs, what are we doing actually? Shall we say that this London BK children are children of Dadi Janki? Shall we say? Generally I am trying to understand. So, or somebody, I gave message, he becomes my child? No. So therefore we are only like guides telling them that I became Baba's child by adoption. You can also become Baba's child by the same process. So in fact the creator and the adopter is Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba, and we only are telling them where to go. That's all. Similarly, when we say our sustaining the whole tree, I was thinking that in fact, are we able to sustain even ourselves? The seed is sustaining the tree, and the seed is sustaining us also. So we, in fact, the Brahman or the deity souls are not able to sustain even our own religion or our own group, because if we could do that, then why would we come into copper age and iron age and like that? So we lose even our own power, and a powerless one, how can sustain others? So, as Baba said in today's Murli, I appear, I create the deity religion, and then I disappear. Baba has also said that the other religious fathers also, they come, they start their branch, and they also disappear. So basically, those branches come out of the trunk by a natural process, and I was further thinking, can any one of any religion sustain another one of the same of another religion or not? So I found that, I thought, I don't know, we are sharing. So just as you know, all humans have blood. We say people have blood, a black body person also has blood and all that. But there are blood groups. You know, when you infuse blood, you have to select the group. Similarly, religion blood groups are also there. What I mean to say is, a person we may say, every faith says theirs is the best. It has to be like that. A faith has to be like that. But if I want that, why this person of another religion is not able to appreciate that this is better? The reason is their blood group is different. So I thought that the seed is sustaining all, and depending upon the seed knows where to give thick, solid, more nutritious food, and they are healthy people at the foundation, just as you put strong bricks at the foundation, and then likewise. So it is not our job. Our job is, we have a job there, but that is to, when the end comes, as Baba has, and today in Murli also, the end comes, then we have to sort out, and Baba helps us in sorting out that all the souls are taken back, and those number-wise to come in the next Kalpa cycle, they will come. Then, very interesting thing is the blessing of the Vardhan of the Murli. Because we all have been thinking about Dharam Rajpuri and visualizing what will happen, and there are so many scriptural narratives of frightening punishments and all that. You are put head downwards in boiling oil and so on and so forth. So Baba has clarified that there is no such region as such at the end for absolving us our sins through punishment, but our own, the leftover of our own unburnt sins will appear in frightening forms in the form of ghosts, etc., and trouble us. So that is before the end, which can come any time, we should see that all those are finished through our practice of strong, intense practice of yoga. So this, I thought, was the essence of today's Murli, and any other point we can discuss. So what will you like to elaborate on? हाँ जी.
एक मुस्लिम फ्रेंड ने कहा कि अल्लाह को फादर कहना पाप है, तो उनको कैसे समझाएंगे अल्लाह की विधि का?
ठीक है. हाँ,
इंग्लिश में क्वेश्चन रिपीट करेंगे सबके लिए आप?
क्वेश्चन, हाँ. In fact, in Christianity they say God the Father, Christ Son of Father, but in Islam they don't call God as the Father. They consider God to be Malik. I don't know how to translate Malik. Huh? Master. So God to be Malik and ourselves to be the servants, or what? Malik का उल्टा क्या होता है? खलकत. In Urdu we say खलकत. Anyhow, Baba also sometimes describes about this Salam Alaikum and Malikum Salam. We must have heard in the Murlis. So in Urdu there is a salutation that when someone meets another, so the first one says Salam alaikum. I salute you, Master. And the other one replies, Malikum Salam. That, Master, I also salute you. So this is the normal salutation, and Baba gave us very interesting and very purposeful definition of that. And that was father and son. So son being junior and has to respect the father, and son knows that all the inheritance I am going to get is from the father. So first the son will say, Salam alaikum. Oh Master, I salute you. But the father is seeing unto the son what? So father is seeing this is a small boy or a child, but he is going to be my inheritor after all, finally. So he considers that he is going to be the Malik finally. So then he says Malikam Salam. So in this connotation Baba used to say. So in Islam they call God as Malik, Master, and they very strongly believe that God is incorporeal. If someone tells them of anything else, that God has form, then they consider him an atheist and an enemy of God and call it blasphemy. So this is Islam. So they believe in Malik and call themselves as the Malik's subjects. So in this Murli Baba has said, people, they call Allah the creator. Then how, in the sense of creator, Baba has said, how Allah can create the creation without the mother. So this is Baba has said, we all know that we are not called Shiv Kumar and Shiv Kumari. Although Shiva is supreme, so why don't, it is better to call ourselves Shiv Kumar and Shiv Kumari. And Baba says, anyone who sometimes thinking that I have direct connection with Shiva, I have nothing to do with Brahma or Brahma Kumaris, they start meditating from home. They say, ultimately, Shiva has to absolve our sins. I have to have yoga with Shiva. So what I have nothing to do with Brahma. So they say, think like that. So then Baba asked them, are you Shiv Kumars or Shiv Kumaris? Because Shiv Kumars and Shiv Kumaris cannot be there. There is no mother. Shiva is Supreme Soul. We are souls. We are already in the Param Dham with them. Then the question of creation even. Children mean creating children and number of children growing, something happening as a family. But in Param Dham, we are eternally there. We were there, we will be there. Temporarily we have come there. So all the souls are as eternal as Shiv Baba. And our abode is also there. So where is the question of creation and creator? In other words, parents and children. So this is what Baba has questioned. You call Allah, but how He is the creator? Main thing is revolving around creator and creation. So creation takes place only, even for ourselves, if we don't have this creation body, we can't function. A seed is a seed is a seed. So for us to function also we require bodies. But Baba says you have been taking continuously body after body out, because when we come here, we leave one, we take another and continue with that. So Baba says, don't take body at all. I only take temporary for teaching you. So this is the meaning of Baba saying, you call yourself, call Allah as the creator, but how does He create? So for everyone the question is, how does he create?
Om Shanti, that was very nice. Just going back to the question about Baba, the Supreme Judge, and the souls will experience punishment. And it was a very good answer what you gave. Continue to that is, what are those, because today Baba mentioned, what are those small sins that present time Brahmins should pay attention to? Because Baba also said that you have to be a good effort makers, because Baba's children are good effort makers, and yet there are some subtle sins that we commit. So what are those subtle sins that we can pay attention to? Thank you.
Very nice question. You see, there are those sins. In this birth, we may, if you look back from our childhood memory, we can think. But when Baba says you are all sinners, and the maximum sin, most sins have been committed by those who have become Brahmins, it has a meaning. Because we started committing sins first from Copper Age. There were no others, and we just came down from Silver Age to Copper Age. So all of us had that birth, and we started committing sins, starting with the original sin and then onwards. So we have maximum sins. Baba has also told us that this confluence birth, because of your last kalpa's track, is not based on your last birth of the Kal Yuga. Otherwise it would have been very bad birth. And Baba has assured us that no Brahman will be having a very wretched life, as people in the world may have. That is nice. Now the question is, sins in Brahman family. There are two types. One is omission and one is commission. Omission means that I know I should do these certain things, but due to my carelessness or something, lack of focus, whatever, or my old sanskaras, I am not able to completely and exactly and totally 100% do that. So this is called omissions. We will not call them sins, because those omissions only reduce our marks, make our status lower. I have to achieve something, I am not able to. If a student gets 66% out of 100, he is not committing any sin, but he is careless. So here the stake is of course much bigger. Okay, I will not do that. Now, I wanted to say some story, but it's okay. So you see, only 87% marks are good marks otherwise. But if in this Gyan we get 87% marks, we lose our inheritance for the whole golden age. Because that is 14 kala and that is 16 kala. If you divide 14 by 16, about 87% you will get. So it means the other remaining 2% is very important. So, but all of us don't get golden age. Some of get mid of golden age. So that is not a sin in the sense, but there are other types of subtle sins of Brahmins. And those are, First of all, that having known that purity is, as per the slogan of today, that to be in the rosary means everything pure. So now I know, but I create some jealousy for someone. And the test of the jealousy is, if someone is going fast, someone is being praised, we feel that someone's name is being taken again and again. So instead of praising, appreciating that, I should also do like that. I start thinking of the weaknesses of that one. Oh, they are just praising him, they do not know this person is some. So that is a Brahmin sin. Okay? Similarly, there are so many, we know, hatred, jealousy, showmanship, something inside, different out. All those should be avoided. I have got a definition of Brahman tension, if you are interested to know, because Brahmins are special. So Brahman tension is also very special. It is not ordinary tension. So how does Brahman tension arise? I gained this experience in Bombay. So there was a center on the outskirts of Bombay. I had to come to the city to another center for some program. They brought me by car and left there and said, on the way back you come by the train. Train is very fast. So only 3 trains were left to reach there. I was new to Bombay trains. So I stood in front of at a place. The electric train came, the door opened, like flood. People came out. I tried to enter, but no. Even my specs were in the air, but I caught it back. So I said, one train gone. Now second time again the train came. Then I watched how other people are entering. So I found that they left the main place for people to retrain, and from the sideways they will stand, and slowly they will enter. By the time I learnt, the train had gone. Now the third train was the last one. So I had learnt that, so I got into it. Then I thought of Brahman stress. Now the Brahman stress is that Baba says, these things should not be in your mind. You should throw them out of your mind. Okay? So when we listen to the Murli, we say, yes, laziness, this, subtle anger, ego. So we listen to the Murli, say, go out. But the Murli also says, you should be patient. You should have the power to pack up. The power to say, get in. So we want that all good qualities to enter us and all wrong things to go out. So at the gate of the mind, they get stuck up. Those wanting to enter cannot enter because those wanting to go out want to go out. So this is Brahman stress. So then I further thought on this, that why we celebrate Dussehra first and Diwali later on. Which means to say, you have to allow those who want to come out first, then only you enter. Don't try to push in. So therefore, unless we clean ourselves, of the weaknesses, though no space for good qualities to enter. They will be stuck up, or their two cannot remain together. So I cannot have hatred and love remain together in my mind. So this is Brahman stress. How I take it. Acha.
Thank you.
और So we should think of a list of subtle sins, because the patent, well-known sins of all Brahmins avoid. But there are certain subtle, and there is a bell in our mind, definitely, when something we do wrong. But the bell also rings clear, but if I 2-3 times I don't heed to that, then it stops ringing. And then if I do a little bigger mistake, then again it rings. And if I ignore that 2-3 times, it will stop. That is, I have noticed that I think I know all my wrong things, I do not know. Just as a person with eye problem, he thinks he is seeing right. But when doctor shows him, no, this is better, then Leo says, yes, this is better. So I cannot rely on my intellect. So others can point out that bhaiji, little this, that is pinches. That is why I say inability to appreciate others' progress, feeling jealous, and countering it by thinking of their mistakes rather than thinking of my weaknesses is one thing. Another thing is, I do something good sometime, so I feel the difference naturally. So enjoying that for a long time, keeping in mind, ignoring other subjects also is another weakness. So Baba says, keep balance of both. So if we start doing something good and we feel happy with that, it is easy, then we start doing more of that and ignore other subjects. We think these are compensated. In accountancy, things plus and minus can reduce. But here, it is not so. There is a whole list of plus, whole list of minus. Both have to be accounted for separately. They cannot cross. ठीक, ओम शांति।